Good morning. Yes. Okay. Sorry, we cannot see this. Oke, matematika soal pertama. Data jumlah siswa dari beberapa SD, SD IT Al-Fatih, SD Banguntapan, dan SD Negeri, SD Tulus Jaya. Pertanyaannya, pemerintah ingin membagi bantuan buku secara merata kepada setiap sekolah berdasarkan jumlah siswa. Setiap 5 siswa akan mendapatkan 1 buku. Lalu hitunglah jumlah buku yang diterima masing-masing sekolah dan tentukan sekolah mana yang menerima paling banyak buku dan paling sedikit. Oke, jadi pertama kita akan menghitung banyak buku yang diterima masing-masing sekolah. Jadi katanya setiap 5 siswa akan mendapatkan 1 buku. Jadi ini bisa dibagi 150 bagi 5 jadi 30, 100 dibagi 5 menjadi 20, 115 dibagi 5, 23, 110 dibagi 5, 20. Lalu, tentukan sekolah mana yang paling banyak, paling sedikit. Sekolah yang paling banyak adalah SD Al-Fatih, yang paling sedikit adalah SD Muh Banguntapan. Nomor 2, data jumlah siswa di beberapa sekolah, berikut sekolahnya. Lalu pertanyaannya, seorang siswa ingin membandingkan jumlah siswa dengan cara menyusun data terkecil hingga terbesar. Kemudian, menghitung jangkauan data tersebut. Susunlah data jumlah siswa dalam bentuk tabel berdasarkan urutan dari terkecil ke terbesar, lalu tentukan jangkauan data tersebut. Jadi nanti siswa akan membuat tabel. Oke, tabelnya nanti berupa terdiri dari nama sekolahnya. Lalu setelah nama sekolah, jumlah siswanya. Nah, setelah dibuat tabel, lalu nama sekolah ini akan diurutkan berdasarkan jumlah siswanya, yaitu kita akan mengurutkannya dari yang terkecil ke yang terbesar. Dari data ini sudah pasti yang terkecil adalah SD Muh Banguntapan. Saya singkat aja ya, Miss ya. Lalu
Your question you don't. Oh ya.
SD
IPAS ya.
Tunas Jaya. Oke, lalu yang ketiga SD Negeri 1. Salah. SD Tunas Bangun. Setelah itu Tunas Negeri 1. Lalu setelah itu SD.
Oh, it's okay. Your location first lah. It's okay.
Nah, di sini baru
ya.
jumlah siswa
lah.
dari yang terkecil SD Bangun itu 100 siswa. Lalu setelah itu ada SD Tunas Jaya ada 110. Setelah itu ada SD Negeri 1 Ngijo itu 115. Dan terakhir ada SD Al-Fatih 150. Setelah kita urutkan dari terkecil hingga terbesar, kita akan menentukan jangkauannya. Jadi untuk menentukan jangkauan, kita bisa kurangkan jumlah siswa terbesar dikurang terkecil. Berarti 150.
So we're going to have information.
50.
Nomor apa saja juga contoh kewajiban.
3. Skor lomba sebagai berikut. Ada Fajar 45, lalu Aska 54, Toro 63, lalu Tegar 88, dan Dika 44. Jika juara ditentukan dari skor tertinggi, seorang siswa menyebutkan urutan juara Dika, Toro, Aska. Apakah urutan tersebut benar? Jika tidak, tentukan urutan yang benar dan jelaskan. Sementara itu juri mengatakan skor mereka masing-masing ditambah 2 dari skor sebelumnya. Berapa skor masing-masing skor sekarang?
Revisi ya?
Oke, yang pertama disebutkan kalau urutan juaranya dimulai dari Dika, Toro, dan Aska. Kalau disuruh diurutkan, apakah urutan tersebut benar? Jawabannya salah. Jika tidak, tentukan urutan sembilan. Jadi kita akan mengurutkan dari skor tertinggi. Di sini skor tertinggi jelas bukan Dika, tetapi yang pertama Tegar itu nilainya 88. Setelah itu ada Dika nilainya 78, dan setelah itu ada Toro nilainya 63. Jadi ini adalah urutan yang benar. Lalu jika skor mereka masing-masing ditambah 2 dari skor sebelumnya, berapa skor masing-masing siswa? Oke, jadi Faza yang mulanya dari 45 ditambah 2 menjadi 47, Aska dari 54 ditambah 2 jadi 56, Toro 63 ditambah 2 menjadi 65, Tegar 88 ditambah 2 menjadi 90, Dika 78 ditambah 2 jadi 80.
Ini kapan kalian revisi, Miss? Kapan revisi? Kapan dikirim?
Matt, a school canteen manager wants to find out what types of drinks students prefer and how many drinks should be ordered for the next week. She asks students about their favorite drinks and the number of drinks they usually buy in a week. The question identify which question will produce categorical data and which will produce this quick data. Explain your answer and explain why both type of data are important for the canteen manager when making decision about what to order. Okay, to answer this, the first is the questions that can produce categorical data is the type of the drinks that students prefer. This called as categorical data, where the answer will be the kinds of the drinks. So it can be, there are the types of the drinks, so this is categorical data. And then discrete data are the number of the drinks that student ordered for the week, or how many drinks should be ordered for the week. This is called as discrete data, where discrete data means the data that is collected where the data can be counted. And then why both type of data are important for the canteen manager when making decision about what to order. This is very important for the canteen manager when making decision about what to order, because by using these two kinds of this data, categorical and discrete data, the canteen manager can be easily to categorize the kinds of the drinks and how many kinds of the drinks that the students order for next week. Number 2, a teacher asks her students about their favorite. A teacher asks her students about their favorite food and how many pieces of fruit they eat in a day. Which question gives categorical data and which gives discrete data? The question, the categorical data is with the questions about the kinds of the food that students eat in a day, and then the discrete data is the questions with how many pieces of fruit they eat in a day. So give one example of any answer for this question. Okay, for the question, categorical question data, like what kinds of the fruits that they eat in a day, for example, like apple or mango or watermelon, and then how many pieces of fruit do they eat in a day? It can be, you can say 1 pieces, 2 pieces, like this. Number 3, a teacher asks the students about their favorite snacks. Some students like apples, some students like bananas, some students like both apple and bananas. Draw and explain how would you sort this data using a Venn diagrams. Explain why some students may be placed in the overlapping section of the Venn diagrams. So this is the examples of the Venn diagrams. So some students like apples, some students like bananas, some students like both. The students like apples will be placed in this circle, and then the students that likes the banana will be placed here in this place, and the students that like both banana and apple will be placed in the middle, this overlapping place. Okay, this science. The moon doesn't make its own light, but we still can see it shining at night. Based on what you know about the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon, explain how this possible, and what would happen if the sun did not shine on the moon? Okay, so we still can see we see every night the moon shine, the sun, because the sun's reflects this the sunlight reflects the light to the moon, so we can see the moon every night, and then the sun hit the lights to the moon and bounces to the earth, so it happens, so it is so we can see the moon's shines every night. So if the sun did not shine on the moon will cannot be seen. It's very dark because the moon get the light from the sun. Number 2, the images you observe. Number 2. Okay, imagine you observe the moon at the same time every night, 1 week. Predict what change you might notice and explain why those changes happen. Okay, so when I observe the moon at the same time every night for a week, I can see the passage of the moon. The shape of the moon will change. So it can be, the shape can be bigger, like we're seeing, and then the shape can be smaller, like weddings. So this happens because the moons travel around the earth. When the moons travel around the earth and the sunlight give the lights to the moon, so we can see the part that is lit by the sun. So that's what we call that we can see many kinds of or many changes of the moon in a month. Number 3. Two students are discussing space. One student says the moon just floats randomly in space and does not follow a path. Do you agree or disagree? So I disagree with this. The moon not only float, the moon doesn't orbit randomly. They have their own paths regularly. It's like a curve. The path is in a curve shape, and then it always. So the moon will move around the earth in a curved shape, and then this is because of the gravity. Because of the gravity, and after that, explain your answer using the concept of okay. So the moon travel around the earth, and after that, the earth and the moon will travel around the sun. So
Ini kan judulnya
I
kan?
totally disagree with this.
Materinya, masuk materinya.
Number 4, student says only machines sent by human cannot be called satellites. So evaluate this statement and explain what a satellite and then identify a satellite.
1, 2, 3, sampai 1.
So a satellite is any objects that travel around other objects. So satellite is not only machines. The satellite that can be made by human or man-made, and the satellite comes from nature. The example that the satellite made actually. The satellite that comes from nature or natural satellite is the moon. So the moon is the satellite that
Menjelaskan di kelas ya, seperti seolah-olah ada murid tulis di sini. Nanti Miss menjelaskan bagaimana agar murid itu mau menanya atau berinteraksi lah gitu. Jadi tidak hanya one way communication, ya nggak hanya komunikasi suara, tapi ada feedback dari murid gitu. Dan tujuannya apa? Menjelaskan.
In this part, students will okay. So good morning, my students. So today we have the new topic. Our math is about investigate with categorical and discrete data. Before I explain what is categorical and discrete data, I want to ask you, what's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit is mango.
Mango. So how many times do you eat your favorite fruit in a week?
Last week
4 times in a week. Oh, that's good. So when I ask you the questions and the answers like the type of things, object, or it's like the names of the things. So this is called as categorical data. But when you answer that you eat it 1 or 2 or 3 times in a week, okay, when the answer is something that can be counted, so this is called as discrete data. So let's take a look these questions from Cass. Cass has the question. So what's your favorite pet? Mostly you will answer your favorite dog. So what's your favorite pet? So and then next is what is your favorite what is the favorite pet of my classmates? These two questions are asking you the same questions, right? This question asks you about your favorite pet, but the first question here point at you. Okay, once the question point at you, so it means that the answer is only one. And the next one is the question is delivered to all of your friends in the class. So the answer will vary, right? Well, your friend will say dog, rabbit, fish, and many more. So when you collect the data like this, the first one, the data that when you collect and when you collect it and you only point for one student or only one person, so this is called as statistical data. But only one student is statistical data. But if you ask the question for all of your friends, so it means that the answer more than once, right? So this is called non-statistical data, like this. Ready? Oh, continue. Oh, I see we have more. Sorry. Oh, okay. Okay, next this. Okay, next. Which question do you need to collect data to answer it? How do you know it? Okay. Look at this thinking cap. Okay, after you read this, let me reread again this thinking cap. We go to the next part, okay? After you know about what is statistical data, what is non-statistical data, and let's take a look the question again. Cass asked her classmate about their pets and the number of pets they have. Which is the differences? What is the differences between the type of data collected? What makes you say so? Okay, this still the question is still talking about collecting the data. Here, Cass asked her classmate about their pets. So remember, these questions about the types of the pets, right, of your classmate. So the answer, well, friend will say dog, and then rabbit, fish, and many more. This about the types of the animals, the type of the pets. So this is called as the categorical data. So this data that can be categorized. And after that, the number of the pet. Your friend will answer 1 pet, 2 pet, or 3 pet. This talk about the number. So this is called discrete data, where the data can be counted. That's the difference between this categorical and discrete data. Okay.
Now we can turn to Monica. Next week we have a special activity, right?
Oh, yes.
Just explain pengalaman juga dari special activity langkah-langkah apa yang diperlukan serta kesimpulan medis.
Oke, jadi special activity kita berhubungan dengan Oke, jadi special activity kita nanti untuk matematika akan bertujuan agar siswa dapat memahami tentang data. Jadi kita akan menyajikan data, lalu siswa akan memahami lebih dalam secara lengkap, lalu akan diterapkan di sini contoh bagaimana menyajikan data. Jadi langkah-langkahnya siswa nanti akan dibagi ke dalam beberapa kelompok. Oke, 2 kelompok akan maju ke depan kelas. Lalu setelah itu guru mempersiapkan bahan-bahannya, meja, Lalu setelah itu guru akan meletakkan beberapa contoh gambar, misalnya buah-buahan. Lalu guru akan memanggil 10 siswa untuk maju ke depan dan menentukan buah atau hewan kesukaan mereka. Oke, setelah itu siswa yang berdiri, yang kelompok yang berdiri untuk maju ke depan tadi akan membuatnya dalam bentuk tabel, Miss. Jadi nanti mereka akan disediakan tabel, mereka akan buat tabel di kursi kertas, lalu mereka akan membuat tabel, misalnya tabelnya tentang data siswa kelas 3B yang menyukai buah-buahan. Nanti ada banyak gambar kan, Miss. Nanti siswa akan
tapi kan
salah satu
saya
panggil
melihat
Vanessa,
gitu, makanya saya
maju,
mengevaluasi, Miss.
pilih
Saya
buah
melihat,
apa?
Miss, bagaimana sih sebenarnya di kelas.
anggur.
Jadi Miss
Nanti
melakukan
siswa
teaching
yang
seolah-olah
berada
ada murid-murid
yang
di sini
berdiri
gitu.
kelompok
Ya.
tadi yang akan
Oke, kita lanjut ke
nanti akan menulis datanya. Wimuk seperti itu. Lalu setelah mereka mendata berdasarkan pilihan siswa yang maju tadi, lalu mereka akan membuat turusnya. Setelah itu mereka akan menentukan jangkauannya. Begitu selanjutnya untuk kelas grup berikutnya. Seperti itu.
Tujuan dari aktivitas ini
Nah, tadi sebenarnya saya sebutkan tujuannya ini agar siswa lebih memahami tentang bagaimana membuat penyajian data itu dalam bentuk tabel, lalu turus secara langsung mereka melihat siswa yang tadi akan melakukan interaksi kan, Miss, melakukan interaksi di mana siswa nanti 10 orang akan dipanggil akan memilih beberapa gambar yang telah saya tentukan. Misalnya gambar di sini ada berupa jenis pekerjaan. Mereka akan pilih pekerjaan apa yang mereka akan pilih seperti itu, Miss. Kesimpulannya adalah penyajian data adalah cara menyusun data agar siswa dapat memahaminya dengan lebih jelas dan terus. Karena penyajian data tersebut disajikan dalam bentuk tabel, lalu dengan turus, lalu setelah itu jadi siswa tersebut akan lebih memahami dan lebih dapat membaca data tadi dalam bentuk tabel dengan lebih jelas.
selanjutnya
Dalam rendah SD.
categorical data
Group by the names or the types. So this is categorical data is the data that is collected where the answer like the kinds of something like the types or the names of the things. The data that can be counted. This is the data where the answers like the numbers, for example, like 2, 3, or 4. So these numbers, the data that is collected, less numbers, and it can be counted. Statistical question is the questions that has many possible answers. So the statistical question is the questions where the answer can be more than one. So the questions is determined not only one person. The questions will be delivered to many people.
Most have experience because they have the object is only one.
One statistical question is the question with only one answer. So this question is delivered only for one person. So the answer is possible one answer. So when the answer is only one, so this is called as non-statistical question.
So the pictogram actually say that
Pictogram is the graphs that pictogram is the graph that shows data with pictures. This pictogram is some graphs that represents one data. So it helps students easier to understand by using this graphs. What's this? Venn diagram is a diagram with circles to short data. So Venn diagrams is the diagrams where where there are two circles, and these two circles will represent some data, and then there also this circles is overlapping letter. So in the middle letter will be with two categories on black and the right side.
So means
Carol diagram is diagram
if more than
with
only one object will only use this.
okay, the chart that used to that is used to get more information when you sort data. So this Carol diagram, we use this to sort the data to get more information. We use this column and rows to categorize the data. So it helps students to get more understanding about the data.
Whose book was that?
Universal set is the sets that issues that contains a lot of items. That can, for examples like when you want to categorize some kinds of fruits. So all of the kinds of the fruit is called as the universal set when you place it in the Venn diagrams.
Thank you, Miss. I think that's all. Thank you for your explanation.
You're welcome, Miss.